So good evening, everyone, and actually good afternoon to some of you. I know that there's quite a bit of participants and audience from different countries today. We had quite a few Filipinos, I guess from India as well, and Australia. So happy World Space Week to everyone. And we're also celebrating Women in Space this week, which is really great because for our topic today, we're going to be learning a lot about UNISEC, which is the University of Space Engineering Consortium. And so UNISEC is it's a global primary. Its global primary objective is to help create a world where space science and technology is used by individuals and institutions in every country and offers opportunities across the whole structure of society, whether it's government, industry, and academia, for peaceful purposes and for the benefit of humankind. It provides a forum every year to promote practical space development activities, mainly at the university level, such as designing, developing, manufacturing, launching, and operating micro, nano, pico satellites and their payloads. UNISEC has chapters around the world, including New Zealand, the Philippines, and other countries in Asia Pacific. So I'm Emmeline Pat Dahlstrom. This is Eric, and we're from Space Base. Space Base is a social enterprise that's based here in New Zealand. We're focused on really catalyzing space entrepreneurial ecosystems in developing and emerging countries and starting in New Zealand. So we're really honored to have one of the founders and also the Secretary General of UNISEC, which is Rei. Rei and I actually go a long way. I think we've known each other for almost 30 years. We met in Barcelona, and then of course we were living in Strasbourg as well back in the 90s, which I know it shows how old I am, not you. So let me just introduce Rei. So Rei Kawashima has contributed to micro, nano, pico satellites for education and business applications through her leadership role in UNISEC, which she co-founded in 2002. In 2013, she was appointed as the Secretary General of UNISEC Global, which then was accepted as a permanent observer of UN Corpus in 2017. She organizes training programs and technology competitions to facilitate universities' participation in space projects worldwide, and especially in emerging countries, with the Vision 2030 all. By the end of 2030, let's create a world where university students can participate in practical space projects in all countries. She attended ISU, the summer program in 1994, and the master's program in 1995 and 1996, which is kind of like where we met. So yeah, welcome, Rei.
Well, thank you very much for your kind introduction. May I share my screen? Can you see the slide?
It's coming up.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for inviting this very exciting event, the World Space Week in New Zealand. It's a very good opportunity for me because I've never been to New Zealand, unfortunately. I really wanted to go for many, many years. I went to Australia, but not New Zealand, and there was no opportunity. And the pandemic started. The YouTube, in New Zealand. So I was thinking to visit you, but the pandemic, everything is just gone. So, but I really appreciate you to connect me to New Zealand again. Thank you very much. So I would like to talk about UNISEC Global today. And I guess that this audience are interested in space. So if I could give you some hints or insight, I would be very happy. If not, I'm sorry. Let me start. Today, I will talk about myself a little bit and introduce UNISEC Japan and UNISEC Global and our vision or our dream, big dream. My name is Rei Kawashima, and I'm a Secretary General as the Emery introduced. And I also work for UNISEC Japan as a chair of the Committee of International Relations. And I'm also taking a part-time job at the University of Tokyo. And for the International Space University, I'm doing a function a little bit about like an ambassador in Japan. And for International Academy of Astronautics, I am contributing full member as a little bit as a full member. But I think I am a writer, and I already published 2 books. Sorry, it is Japanese. I'm always thinking about translating to English. But what I want to say now here is I am not an expert of space engineering. I am working for space engineering field. However, I am not an expert of space engineer. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. So where I am now, here is New Zealand, and I am in Tokyo, Japan. And I was born and raised in Akabira, which is a small town in Hokkaido, Northern Ireland. So in Japan, the north is a cold place. So we have lots of snow in winter. And Akabira was one of the well-known towns for the coal mining industry in Japan. It's not now. Some of you may have watched the movie called the October Sky. This is the story of American boy, the American boy who was born and raised in coal mining city, and his father expected him to become the same same work. However, he was inspired by Sputnik, and eventually he became a NASA engineer. This is a story of the October Sky. But unlike Homer Hickman, I was not fascinated by space at all when I was a kid. So I had nothing to do with space for many, many years. One question changed my life. Do you think World War III will happen? This question was asked in the English conversation class. And at the time, a Canadian guy taught us, but he has a background of political science. And he asked this question, and each time we had to answer yes or no. Japanese people do not say yes or no. We just say But he always forced us to answer yes or no, because this is an English class, English lesson. So some students said yes, some students said no. And my answer was, well, no, definitely not. And the reason is very clear for me. No human beings experienced very bad World War twice. And we learned a lot. We'll never make same mistake. This is my logic. And but this teacher had a lot of political knowledge, science knowledge, and he knew many things. that I didn't know. So he told me, "Oh, Rei, you are very naive," and he explained many examples, and the bad examples, and what's going on in the world. And at the end of the class, just after 19 minutes, my perception was completely changed. Oh, World War III will happen definitely. And I was really scared because the weapon is very dangerous. Atomic bomb was very nasty. However, the more nasty weapon is developed. And if the World War III happened, then this planet will be broken completely. So I was just scared. And I had very disappointed with the result of the class. However, at the time, somehow the word of space came into my mind. Space. So this is just an intuition, and I thought maybe space could be a key to creating a peaceful world. Yes, I know I am naive, but I just decided to follow my intuition. As I said before, I had nothing to do with space. I'd never studied space in any fields. Space science, space engineering, space law, I had nothing to do with them. But I thought that I should do something related to space for peaceful world. Then I started my new life in the space field. I tried to find some place that I can study about space. And fortunately, International Space University, they accepted anybody, well, almost all students. So I decided to go to master's class because this is the first class of a master's class in 1995. And when I knew that ISS is 1992, and I wanted to go to ISU immediately, but I had some responsibility in Japan, so I couldn't. So I prepared for 1 year and 2 years. Then eventually I could go to a summer session program in 1994 in Barcelona. And unfortunately, I was accepted as a master's student in next year. And I met many people who influenced me and supported me later in many different ways. Emeline and Eric, definitely one of those. And in 1999, United Nations, they organized Space Generation Forum, which is SGAC's base. And during the activities that organized sister conference in Japan, I met Professor Nakasuka. He changed my life too, because he just started Kansas activities and Cubesat activities in 1999. And then we we decided to establish University Satellite Consortium and University Space Engineering Consortium and obtain legal status. And after 10 years, we established UNISEC Global. Then another question gave me a direction. Why are we not on the moon now? 50 years ago, human beings were walking on the moon. And some people are saying, oh, this is just a fake. It's just a movie. So it's but it's just a strange. It is just a question. Why we cannot walk on the moon now? So I contemplated my thoughts. Because we are not qualified as a species yet. We are too selfish. We are killing each other. We want to control. We want to occupy. So if there is a creature in different planet, they will not welcome human beings from the Earth because we would like to take something from them. Or because it is only a few elite in rich countries. We are bored of supporting the very, very small portion of the population. So my thought reached that space activities should be like football, which means anybody can participate and enjoy at their level. So I dreamed football-like community for space activities. There is a World Cup level professional player. It's a very, very few, but kindergarten kid, high school league, and university students, and they also can enjoy with the same ball, same rule. Of course, the skills are very different. There's a huge gap. For the kids, when they see the professional players' performance, then just feel, oh, that is magic. Oh, they cannot believe their foot is the same as my foot. No way. So I saw that from kids to professionals, same languages, such as rules, values, cultures are shared. That kind of community should be established in for space activities. Let me talk about UNISEC history. UNISEC Japan, as I said, we formed University Satellite Consortium first. But in the next year, we decided to merge with Rocket Group and needed to change the name. In the beginning, we had two names, Space Engineering Consortium or Space Education Consortium. But we decided Space Engineering Consortium because education is too broad and we do not have much resources. So we got legal status. And now we have 800 student members from 38 universities in Japan. And we have 3 pillars: human resource development, technological development, and outreach. Sorry. Let me talk about a little bit about background. Cubesat. This one started in 1998 as a concept. This is not our invention. This is Professor Bob Twiggs, the concept. He in the Hawaii, in a conference in Hawaii, the United States and Japanese students got together, and they discussed many different things. And Professor Bob Twiggs stand up suddenly, and he held the Coke can, and he said, "Oh, let's make a satellite with this Coke can." And the students were so surprised, and they didn't say anything. They could not say anything. What? Can, Coke can, and satellite? There was no connection in their head, in their brain. However, he said that, and the Japanese students was inspired, and they eventually made the concept like this is Fanta and the Coke. The orange can is the Japanese.
I'm not on the road anymore.
Ooh.
This is so crazy.
Thank you for silence. Okay, so I want to thanks to Professor Bob Twiggs. Without him, these activities never happened. And the history had been changed. And and next year, Cubesat project started. CubeSat was fine, but it was not going to the space. So students was satisfied with CubeSat, but they wanted more. They wanted to launch their satellite into the orbit. So first Cubesat launch was 2003. They started the project in 1999, right after the hearing the concept of Cubesat. But there are many stories between 1999 and 2003. The biggest problem is that they could not find a launch slot. So they had to choose Russian rocket. Only Russian company agreed to provide small the launch slot for the Cubesat. And this is the 2003, and surprisingly, after 18 years, these satellites are still healthy and still working very well. Since then, Japanese universities launched more than 60 satellites. But I want to emphasize, the number of satellites is nothing. The most important is people. People. Our greatest achievement is people, human resources. We provided many engineers and researchers who have proficient knowledge of satellite and rocket, and systems engineering and integration experience and project management skills. And the most important is guts to tackle challenging problems. If you are an engineer, you want to tackle challenging problems. That kind of culture we could, all the people who are involved in these activities, they made that kind of culture. So guts, the people who had the guts, we produced. And what enables the achievement of UNISEC? Why could we do that without the many resources? We provided university students with a platform or opportunities to observe and exchange what other universities achieved and how, which led to strong motivation and hints of achieving something, and competitive feeling too. Students tend to think, oh, that university did it. Of course, we could do it better. So that kind of the mentality helps these activities more vivid, more effectively. And also the professors, they had to consider what they can achieve even without enough resources. But I would say universities will never have the enough resources, because once they have some resources, they want to do more. So they always suffering from lack of resources. But they are wise to think, what can we do without enough resources? So let me talk about UNISEC Global. UNISEC Global is an international non-profit, non-governmental organization, and the main members are local chapters across the world. And local chapters consist of universities. And we established it in 2013, and in 2017, we were accepted as permanent observer by United Nations Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space. This primary objective is to help create a world where space science and technology is used by individual institutions in every single country, rich or poor, for peaceful purposes and for the benefit of humankind. By the way, if you have any questions or comments, please write in the chat. Then I'm happy to answer all the questions later. And UNISEC Global, we have the two ambitious Vision 2030, which states that by the end of 2030, let's create a world where university students can participate in practical space projects in all countries and regions on this planet. I know it is too ambitious. But when we started this activity, the number of countries is 100. However, we joined the United Nations family. So, and their key principle is no one will be left behind. So we decided not to leave 100 countries, almost 100 countries behind. So I think this is too ambitious, and I know nobody but me believe in this vision. However, just 20 years ago, nobody believed that university students can build and launch and operate a satellite. But now, well, everybody can see the university students are working on the satellite projects, the real satellite projects, and they are busy for operating and making command and receiving the data. They are very busy for this, even including in developing countries. So I think the things are changing, and there is no reason that we cannot believe this vision. Now we have 20 local chapters and 54 points of contact and 8 corporate members. So how can we realize that very ambitious vision without much resources? At this moment, we have 4 approaches. One is providing a training program. We have several training kits, so we are providing this training. And of course, we can organize conferences, a forum, and the technical competition is one of the good ways to facilitate the students, the strong commitment and the motivation. And we are also keen to debris issues. So we are focusing on debris awareness and solutions too. And there are many universities that launch their own international collaborative space projects. So we support these universities by promoting this or introducing at United Nations. Here is the global history of activities. As you can see, before UNISEC Global's establishment, we already started the international activities. And since 2020, we had to postpone and cancel almost all activities. But instead, we got a good chance of the virtual meeting. So now we have a monthly virtual meeting. I will talk about it later. So let me introduce some projects and programs that we are offering. The first one is Cancer Leader Training Program. We call it CRTP. This is a training program for professors or instructors to learn how to conduct CANSAT or HEPSAT training, small satellite training. We offer the the opportunity to experience the whole the process of the training. And the participants are expected to go home and teach their own students. So we already have 96 graduates from 46 countries. And we had one from New Zealand in 2015. So now this guy, Jim Hefke, he became the point of contact for New Zealand. And since 2017, we decided to adopt not CubeSat, the Heptasat, which is more like CubeSat, the real satellite. And Heptasat is quite popular and warmly welcomed by the world. So we dispatched the instructors to many different countries, and they enjoyed the Heptasat training. And the next example was mission idea contest. This is not hands-on training. Hands-on training is very good. However, it costs, it's a little, but you need to pay something. But the mission idea contest, you do not have to pay anything. You just think, you just calculate, and you just write out the abstract and the paper. So this is quite different style. And we are working with International Academy of Astronautics, and they agreed to publish the book of the collection of the paper. And next mission idea contest will be held November 13th. This is the first time for us to focus on deep space science exploration. And the nano micro satellites, it's there has, of course, it's so very small, size is small. So it's the function is limited. However, recently the advanced technology enabled nano micro satellites go to deep space. So we decided to do it, and but of course, deep science is quite difficult. So we provided free lectures 5 times, and even if you do not have any knowledge about deep space exploration, if you can take some time to watch the video, you can get some knowledge and to write a paper. And next mission idea contest will be a multiple nanosatellites constellation mission or formation flight. The details will be announced later. By the way, this mission idea contest will be available on the YouTube in the real time. So we will make announcement the YouTube and the YouTube link later. So if you are interested in deep space science exploration with nano micro satellites, please be with us. So debris mitigation competition, yeah, we wanted to facilitate the sharing the innovative solutions for debris mitigation and developing effective deorbit devices that can be demonstrated and validated with micro nanosatellites. So we organized the competition twice, 2016 and 2017. However, we realized with the experts' advice, debris mitigation issue is very complicated. So it is not a simple, there is no simple solution. So it depends on the altitude or mass, or if you use membranes will become will make a more debris sometimes. So then we decided to ask help to International Academy of Astronautics, because UNISEC, our community, do not have many experts for debris issues. But IAA has a debris committee, and there are many experts of debris and debris mitigation. So we talked with them, and we decided to make a handbook for post-mission disposal of satellite less than 100 kilograms. And usually IAA would sell that kind of report. However, we talked with IAA and asked them to enable anybody to download free of charge, and they agreed. So they agreed to put it on our web page too, so everybody can download and take a look. And UNISEC Global meeting. This used to be our annual event, the real in-person event. However, now due to the pandemic, we cannot do that. So now we are using this opportunity. We are offering a monthly meeting. And next month, this is a very good opportunity to run the Lost Dark Sky. This is a very hot topic now. Due to the many satellites, now there is no dark sky anywhere on this planet. So astronomers have difficulties to observe the sky or stars. So we will talk. We invited Didier Queloz, professor, and he's a Nobel laureate in physics in 2019. And unfortunately, it will start at 10 p.m., which is 2 a.m. in New Zealand. I'm very sorry, but we will try to record it, and they will publish it later on the website and YouTube. So let me talk about future plan. How can we realize Vision 2030 all? Vision 2030 all is by the end of 2030. It's less than 10 years now. Let's create a world where university students can participate in practical space projects, such as making satellites or making rockets, or getting the signals from the outer space in all countries and regions. Sorry. And before talking about that, I want to talk about rationale of the Vision 2030. Every country and region needs space-related experts, because now everything is related to space technology. And they need to at least know what they should purchase or not. Space-related products, communication satellites, they need to buy it or not, or GPS they need or not, or Earth observation services, Earth observation data, or what frequency and what resolution. They need to understand that. So every country needs space-related experts. And as I said, key principle of 2030 agenda for sustainable development is no one will be left behind. And the third one is gaps between spacefaring countries and non-spacefaring countries can be reduced in the education field relatively easily. So let me introduce ecosystem model of university space activities. This is a case of spacefaring countries. Okay, let's give small resources, small investments to universities. Then universities, professors, university students can do what they want to do, and good education at universities will be available. then where educated and motivated students will be produced, then these people will become driving forces in the space field. Then they will start new space business, space projects, and the government people will be aware that this is important. Then more investments and resources will come to universities. Then positive spiral will be made in the spacefaring countries. However, non-spacefaring countries case, it's same, good education, good people, good students. However, no position, no funding, no interest in their home country, then they cannot continue to work in the space field. So they will get job in other countries for other fields. So what will happen? Provide the human resources to other fields or other nations. It's not bad. However, the positive spiral will not happen. We cannot see any positive spiral. So what can we change this situation in the non-spacefaring countries? The same, good education and good people. Then if positions, if jobs, if funds, if supports, if interest in home countries, if there are these things in their home countries, then they can survive in the space field in their home country, and they will become new space, they will start new space business, some space projects, then attract more resources and support. The positive spiral will strengthen the space activities in the non-spacefaring countries if we could provide positions, jobs, funds, supports, interest in home country. So how to make position, job, funds, support, interest in home country? It's not easy. But I think we can make a position at the existing universities and teach space engineering at any department. So I'm recommending the PhD students from developing countries to get a position at any university and just teach space engineering. And I'm quite radical, I'm sorry, but or make a position. If there is no such a position at the university, you can make a position. For example, UNISEC Global offers point of contact position, and Mission Idea Contest offers regional coordinator's position. So at least you can keep a connection about in the space field. And even if you do not have any positions, you can organize space education program or projects. There are many different types of training, or you can facilitate the student community to join the contest or project. And of course, you can launch a space-related company. Yeah, well, small company is fine if it is sustainable. So how can we realize the Vision 2030? The most important base is keep working on ongoing or existing program and project. And we need three things. We need more diverse people. We need more support, especially from government. And we need more effort. So let me talk each of these items. More diverse people. I think we, in Japan, we started student instructor for hands-on training project. We just started. Due to the pandemic, it's very difficult to go quickly, but slowly we started. The university students will teach the high school kids or general public who doesn't have any space engineering or space science background. Not once to create an ecosystem, and we want to keep we want to continue this program. So we are we are doing instructor training, and we try to collaborate with science museum and high schools. This training kit is Heptasat. This is my own experience. As I said, I am not engineers. I have nothing to do with space engineering. So I don't know anything about space engineering. I studied a little bit about at ISU, and after establishing the UNISEC, I had lots of opportunity to join and observe the space engineering lectures and presentations. So I know some. However, I had never thought that I could understand something from bottom of my heart. But there I attended 2-day course of Heptasat training with freshmen. Then I thought eventually I could understand. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I can understand. Yes, I can understand the programming. I have never done programming in my life. But I thought, no, it's not difficult. I could do that. This is my first experience, and I was so fascinated. It was 2018, so I feel very sorry to the students and professors whom I worked for, because I didn't understand them at all. I worked for them. But now I can understand why people are so fascinated with space projects, and why students do not worry about the no sleep and the operating the satellite, because it's just the communication between the satellite and me. So it's just a fun, more than fun. That kind of things. So I just think that in order to enroll more diverse people, we should offer hands-on training, enjoyable hands-on training. Okay, and the more support we need from the government, especially if you want to launch satellite, you need to register at the United Nations through your government. And if you want to get the radio frequency, you need to go through international coordination at ITU through your government. So anyway, you need government help and support and understanding. So we just started the new initiative on government's policies in support of space education. The objective is promoting virtuous government policies in support to space education. The research goal is collecting and analyzing existing policies worldwide and acknowledging best practices, and devising and proposing innovative policies in support to space education. And now we are searching a partner. So the two categories. One category is data providers, which could be government, industry, academia, or nonprofit organizations. And category B is research partners, which could be academia, think tanks, or nonprofit organizations. And we would like to develop the methodology, analyze the data, and publish the annual report together with the partners. So if you are interested in becoming a partners, please contact me. And the next month, the APR staff will be organized in completely virtual. Originally, it will be held in it was supposed to be held in Vietnam, but due to the pandemic, it is completely virtual and free of charge. So if you're interested in it, please register from APR staff, the web page. And we are seeking the paper abstract for the higher education system, because UNISEC is responsible for organizing the higher education system, which is brand new at the APRSAP. The due is November 1st. And if you're interested in it, just contact me. I will give you more information. So more effort. This one is very, very difficult. I have no answer, I would say. We need more effort to sustain university space activities. There are many difficult problems. Lost dark sky problem and debris problem and space traffic management problem and limited resources problem. Radio frequency is it's almost fully used, so it's very difficult to allocate the new one. And the solutions, I do not have answers. I just know we need to be a part of solutions, not a part of problems. We just need to be more innovative. We cannot find any answers if we stick to current situation. We need to jump and we need to be innovative. And we need to study, understand, think, listen, imagine, and create. But most important things, we need to have altruistic attitude. We need to think about other people's benefits. We need to take care of other people's the desires. If we have such altruistic attitude, and then there is some space in our mind, then we can start communicating or listening to other people, what they really want to do and why. So then we can start to think about the real solutions. So football-like committee for space activities, I really want to make it. And if everybody can enjoy space engineering activities, sharing the same languages, values, and cultures, if they do not have any barriers about programming or launching operation, then Vision 2030 all could be possible and more people can work on the moon. I do not know, but I think I just want to try it. So conclusion, university space activities are important because these activities produce well-educated, well-trained people who can be the driving forces, to be a driving force in the space field in each country. And they create an ecosystem where well-trained university students teach younger generations and general public and contribute to football-like space community. Sometimes I just imagine we have 800 student members in Japan, just in Japan. But if 800 students use 3 days per year, how much we can teach, how many people we can offer the training program. And these activities are easy to start with limited resources. Existing universities in any countries have most of the necessary things to start space engineering education. So thank you very much. I'll be happy to answer your question if any.
Thank you so much, Rei. Yeah, that was really a fascinating kind of like run through of what UNISEC is doing, and there's just so much programs and basically activities that have happened over just the past I guess 2 decades for you. And it's for us it's really great because even with space-based we have the same goals. It's this shrinking the gap kind of like between the spacefaring nations and those that are really interested in making sure that nobody gets left behind, as you said. So for us, it really kind of like resonates quite a bit. I wanted to give the floor to our audience if there's any questions.
Yeah, I had one question. How many of your programs are in Japanese and English or other languages?
How many programs?
how many programs are conducted in Japanese, or how many are in English, or?
Okay. Thank you. UNISEC Global's program, all the programs are offered in English.
Ah,
Yeah, so Heptasa training is in English, and all the competition is in English. So everything is English in UNISEC Global activities.
wow. Okay.
Oh, I see. So there's a question here. The question is, I was wondering what the greatest challenge is that you've overcome in your space journey and what gives you hope for the future.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Nate. It's a very tough question. Okay, greatest challenges is the, let's see. I'm a quite optimistic person, but sometimes it's very difficult to keep my optimism. So, so negative thoughts, especially when we seriously lack of the financial resources, it's a negative feelings. Just you know, start occupy my brain. So at that time I'm yeah, that is the biggest challenge. And this, well, when I'm overwhelmed by negative feelings, the negative people will be, will be reaching me. So so I think the biggest challenge is keep positive energy all the time. If as far as I could keep positive energy, the problems and difficulties, I can find out the solution all the time. But once I once I allowed the negative feelings to occupy myself, then the things will collapse immediately. So that is the greatest challenge. Sorry, it is not very practical, but there are many problems every day. Yeah, trust me, every day there are many troubles and problems and difficulties. So this is just common for me. The problem is common. It's there always because we are doing something that nobody did. So it's, of course, there is a difficulty, of course, but keeping my energy in a positive mood is the biggest challenge. Okay, and or if you wanna listen to more the concrete example, I will think about it.
Yeah, for me, I guess one the question is like, if there are students in the audience as well, what would be your kind of your recommendation as a first step, like for them to do if they're interested in space?
Students, well, I am not I had never been a student of space engineering, so my advice would be quite stupid, but I think making something using your hands is very good, because then you will find a different solution, different way. So even the small thing, or just one, there are many things they are available in the market. So just purchase one, and then do something with the kit, or with the OBC computer, the small computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I remember Peter Beck with Rocket Lab saying that he was always looking for students who had done something hands-on as having a lot more. I mean, it brings together all your book learning to actually do a project, and he was always looking for that for anybody that he wanted to hire for Rocket Lab. And yeah.
Yes, and I have such a desire, but the engineering students want to break, for example, the mobile phone. They want to
Yes, disassemble.
they want to break, and they want to see what's inside. I myself do not have such a desire, but they do. and if you my advice is just take one step in each way. Then don't stay in the same place. Just the walk one step. Then you will find this is my way or not. And if you feel you are safe in the first step, then continue to next step and third step, fourth step, and in sometimes it's not my way, then just come back. And the trial and error is the very normal process. So don't be afraid be going back. Just taking the first step is my advice. So if you are interested in what I talked, just for example, just email to me. This is the first step. Then you may have some big chance, Then
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rei. I know that we've run out of time, but thank you for your presentation, and then also your insights and your recommendation. And for our audience, thank you for also listening and being with us for this World Space Week. Hoping that we will have more also events and activities that's coming up over the next weeks and months, and we'll certainly let you know. And I guess Rei just put in her email on the chat as well. So if you're interested in getting in touch with her, and if you're interested in what UNISEC is working on, don't hesitate to communicate. So again, thank you everybody. And have a good evening, good afternoon.